Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to solve these systems of equations and I would like you to stick around because you have so much to learn while we solve this video. So without wasting much time, let's get started. So in order to solve these systems of equations, the first step is for us to multiply this first equation by y and multiply the second equation by x, okay? So let's just do that. But mind you, the essence of doing that is for us to eliminate some terms and work with less complicated terms, okay? So if we multiply the first equation by y, we are going to have xy plus y into 3x minus y all over x squared plus y squared equals to 3y, okay? And we are going to multiply this second equation by x. So we are going to have xy as well minus x into x plus 3y divided by x squared plus y squared equals to x times 0, we are going to have 0, okay? So after multiplying equation 1 by y and equation 2 by x, the next step is for us to add the equation 1, this one that we have multiplied, and this one that we have multiplied. Let's add the both of them together, okay? So I've written down here, add the both equations. So this will give us xy plus xy. We are going to have 2xy. Then we have plus, let's write this, y into 3x minus y minus x into x plus 3y. Since the base here is x squared plus y squared and the base here is also x squared plus y squared, so the both terms can share the same base. So we have x squared plus y squared equals to, here we have 3y plus 0, we are going to have 3y, okay? So we have succeeded adding these two equations, okay? So the next step will be for us to use this denominator and multiply everything here, okay? So this is over 1 and this is over 1, okay? If we use this to multiply this, we are going to have 2xy into x squared plus y squared. Then we have plus y into 3x minus y, then minus x into x plus 3y equals to, this will also multiply this, we are going to have 3y into x squared plus y squared, okay? So if we use this to multiply everything here, this is what we are going to have, all right? So the next thing is for us to combine the equations and expand the brackets, okay? So we are going to have 2xy into x squared plus y squared plus, let's multiply this out, 3xy minus y squared minus x squared minus x times 3y, we have 3xy, so equals to 3y into x squared plus y squared, okay? So now if you look at it very well, 3xy will cancel 3xy, so we are going to be left with 2xy into x squared plus y squared minus y squared this here minus x squared this here equals to 3y into x squared plus y squared, okay? So let's try and factorize this. We are going to have 2xy into x squared plus y squared minus 1 into x squared plus y squared equals to 3y into x squared plus y squared, okay? Because if you use this negative 1 to multiply the whole of this, we are going to get this back, all right? So let's continue on this part of the board. But if you consider this equation, we can easily factorize out because we have x squared plus y squared here, we have x squared plus y squared here, and we have x squared plus y squared here. Okay, you can easily factorize x squared plus y squared out. So let's write it here. We are going to have 2xy minus 1 into x squared plus y squared equals to 3y into x squared plus y squared. Okay, because if we multiply this out, we are going to have this back. Okay, and this is just this. All right, so nothing has really changed right now. X squared plus y squared can cancel x squared plus y squared, so we are going to be left with 2xy minus 1 equals to 3y. Okay, and 2xy equals to, this negative 1 can come over to this side. We have 3y plus 1. So here we have 2xy equals to 3y plus 1. Providing y is not equals to 0, we can have x equals to 3y plus 1 divided by 2y. Okay, dividing the both sides by 2y. So we have this, right? So this can become our third equation. Let's start it. Okay, so now let's recall the second equation. Let me write recall equation 2. The equation goes by y minus x plus 3y divided by x squared plus y squared equals to 0. Okay, let's recall this equation, and from here y can be equals to, if we take the whole of this over to this side, x plus 3y divided by x squared plus y squared. Okay, so now let's continue on this part of the board, but if we cross multiply this equation, we are going to have y into x squared plus y squared equals to x plus 3y. Okay, so this can be written as y into x squared plus y squared. If we take the whole of this over to this side, we are going to have minus x minus 3y equals to 0. Okay, so now that we have this equation, the next step is for us to substitute the value of x, this value of x, into this equation. Okay, so wherever we have x here, we are going to insert 3y plus 1 divided by 2y. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We have y, then we have x squared. We are going to have 3y plus 1 divided by 2y all squared plus y squared. Okay, minus x, we are going to write this again, 3y plus 1 divided by 2y, then minus 3y equals to 0. Okay, so this is what we have, right? So the next step is for us to concentrate on this. All right, so let's expand this. We have 3y plus 1 divided by 2y times 3y plus 1 divided by 2y. Okay, if we expand this, we are going to have 3y times 3y, we have 9y squared plus 6y plus 1 divided by 4y squared. Okay, so this alone gives us this, right? So this bracket will become y into 9y squared plus 6y plus 1 divided by 4y squared plus y squared divided by 1, then minus 3y plus 1 divided by 2y minus 3y equals to 0. Okay, so this becomes our new equation. So let's continue on this part of the board, and if you notice in this equation, the LCM here in this part of the bracket, the LCM here is 4y squared. Okay, so let's use the LCM to multiply the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so we have y into 9y squared plus 6y plus 1, because if we use 4y squared to multiply the numerator, it will cancel this, so we are going to be left with this plus this 4y squared will multiply y squared. We are going to have 4y power 4 all divided by 4y squared, okay, minus 3y plus 1 divided by 2y minus 3y equals to 0, okay. So if you look at this equation very well, we have y here and we have 4y squared here, okay. So this y can cancel this y squared and we will left with nothing here, y we will left with 4y here. So we have 9y squared plus 6y plus 1 plus 4y power 4 divided by 4y minus this 3y plus 1 divided by 2y minus 3y divided by 1 equals to 0, okay. So this is what we are left with now. The next thing is for us to multiply everything with this LCM here, okay. So we are going to have 9y squared plus 6y plus 1 plus 4y power 4 minus this 4y will divide 2y and we are going to be left with 2 into 3y plus 1 minus 3y will multiply this 4y, okay, equals to, and the 4y will multiply 0 and we have 0, okay. So we have 9y squared plus 6y plus 1 plus 4y power 4 minus 6y minus 2 minus 12y squared equals to 0, okay. So let's combine this, right? So 6y will cancel 6y and we are left with 9y squared minus 12y squared, okay, and we have plus 1 minus 2 plus 4y power 4 equals to 0, okay. So here now 9y squared minus 12y squared will give negative 3y squared, okay, and 1 minus 2 will give negative 1 plus 4y power 4 equals to 0, okay. So let's continue on this part of the board, but we can rearrange this equation and we have 4y power 4 minus 3y power 2 minus 1 equals to 0, okay. So this becomes a bi-quadratic equation, okay. This is a bi-quadratic equation and we can solve it by equating one of these terms to a constant, okay. Let's say let p equals to y power 2, okay. If p equals to y power 2, we're going to have 4p squared minus 3p minus 1 equals to 0, okay. So if you look at this, this becomes a quadratic equation and we are going to solve it using factorization method, okay. Factorization method, all right. So we need two numbers that when we add we have negative 3 and when we multiply we have negative 4, okay. So the two factors are negative 4 and 1, okay, because negative 4 times 1 will give us negative 4 and negative 4 plus 1 will give us negative 3, okay. So let's substitute these factors into this equation. We are going to have 4p squared, okay, minus 4p, okay, plus p minus 1 equals to 0, okay. So let's factorize this out. We are going to have 4p into p minus 1, okay, plus 1 into p minus 1 equals to 0, okay. So this and this are the same. We are going to take 1. So we have 4p plus 1 and we have p minus 1 equals to 0, okay. Let's continue on this part of the board. The next step is for us to equate each of these factors to 0, okay. So let's start with the first. We have 4p plus 1 equals to 0 and we have 4p equals to negative 1, okay. and we have p equals to negative 1 over 4. Okay, that is the first one. Now let's equate the second one. P minus 1 equals to 0 and p equals to 1. Okay, so now if you go back to this condition, we said let p equals to y power 2. Okay, so p cannot be a negative number. Here we have p equals to negative 1 over 4. That means p cannot be a negative number. That means this is absolutely out of the line. We are not going to use this. We can only use this. Okay, so if you recall, p equals to y squared. That means 1 equals to y squared. Okay, and y squared equals to 1. Okay, if you interchange them, that means y equals to plus or minus square root of 1. That means y equals to plus or minus 1. Okay, because square root of 1 is 1. All right, so this is the value for our y. All right, so now let's continue on this part of the board. Here I've written down, recall x equals to 3y plus 1 divided by 2y. If you notice here, we have gotten the value of our y. Now for us to find the value of our x, we need to recall this equation that we got in the first part of the solving that we did. Okay, here I asterisked this equation while we were solving, right? So we are going to use this equation to find the value of x. So right now, since our y is two values, okay, so we have y equals to 1 and negative 1. Okay, according to this condition. So let's consider when y equals to 1. Okay, let's consider this. That means x will be equals to 3 into 1 plus 1 divided by 2 into 1. Okay, this will be equals to 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4, and we have 4 divided by 2, which is equals to 2. Okay, so that means when x is 2, y is 1. Okay, that's for the first one. Now let's consider when y is equals to negative 1. Okay, this other one. Now let's consider when y equals to negative 1. Okay, so we are going to have x equals to 3 into negative 1 plus 1 divided by 2 into negative 1. Okay, this will give us 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 plus 1 divided by negative 2. Okay, this is equals to negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2 divided by negative 2, and negative will cancel negative, so we have 2 divided by 2 equals to 1. Okay, so that means when x is 1, y is what? Negative 1. Okay, so the final answer for the system of equation is given by when x equals to 2, y is 1, and when x equals to 1, y is negative 1. By this, we have come to the end of the class because it has taken us a lot of time and you have learned a lot along the way. Right now, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the notification icon for updates on videos like this. Thank you and goodbye.